Hi everybody, this is just kind of an introductory video going over the syllabus and some policies and sort of why we do this class. It's kind of the same stuff that I would have done with you in person on the first day. So if you want to, you can be kind of looking over the syllabus at the same time that I go over this with you. I am not doing any kind of syllabus contract this time. There is not a quiz, there is not a contract. We were actually, if you are interested in the inside information, we were actually told that there is a directive coming down from the federal government that we are not going to be allowed to have you sign contracts anymore for legal reasons. So that's why you don't have that assignment. It used to just be kind of a quick and easy first point. But you are still, by taking the class, sort of liable for everything that's in the syllabus and all the policies there. And me having given it to you kind of constitutes that. But I just want to hit some highlights. I'm not going to go over the whole thing in detail. So it's on Edmodo. It's the very first thing posted to our Edmodo class page, and it is on Momentum. Now, if you remember from your past classes with me, I am not a fan of Momentum, and so really we will only be using it for one thing, and that is for submitting papers. And there is only one writing assignment, just pure writing assignment that you have for this class. So you're really only going to be using Momentum one time. Other than that, it's all going to be on Edmodo. This entire class will be done through our Edmodo class page. So you just have to go to that one page to follow everything. So nothing about me has changed except that it's got my office information there, but I will not physically be in the office at all this term. As you know, my plan and my desire was to at least start in person and at least get to see you a little bit. And I think you know, we got a directive from the president that basically said, unless you absolutely have to come into campus, you need to plan on working from home. So that's why we're doing it this way. And really, at the end of the day, your safety is paramount, and I don't have any regrets about that, but I do miss you terribly. I was really looking forward to seeing you all in person. So hopefully, just one more term of this, and knock on wood, by the time you move on to your next level of college, I'm hoping that if you want to, you can have classes on ground. I still have a Snapchat. It's Mad Mags Fury Road if you want to contact me that way. My RadarNet email has not changed, and you can also message me through Edmodo. So there's a messaging feature on the Edmodo website, and a lot of my students use that to contact me. The way office hours are going to work this term, and this is on Edmodo too, they're just virtual office hours, and what that means is for this period of time, I will be actually here at this desk, logged into Edmodo, logged into Snapchat, logged into email, just sitting here, available. Now, you can contact me at any time, but the rule of thumb is if you contact a professor outside of office hours, give them 24 hours to respond. And unless it's on a weekend, in which case a professor is really not obligated to respond to you until Monday. But that 4-hour period every day is when I can try to guarantee a quicker reply to you. And so what that is 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock p.m., Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those are my office hours. That's when I'll be kind of checked in. And when you go through the syllabus, the course objectives, the learning outcomes, all that stuff, those are things that the state of Tennessee or the Tennessee Board of Regents wants you to get out of this class. And you can read that at your leisure. I'm not saying that's not important. I just want to talk to you a little bit about why I think Brit-Lit is important and why we're doing early Brit-Lit with you. So the first thing is, and this is just kind of an incidental thing, if you had stayed in high school, the stuff that you're supposed to cover your senior year in English is covered by Brit-Lit. So Beowulf, The Canterbury Tales, Shakespeare. Now we're going to go more in depth probably than you would have in high school, but that way you can graduate from this program without any kind of big hole in your curriculum by the time you graduate. You will have covered what, in order to be a well-rounded student, you need to cover. The great thing, again, about you doing this dual enrollment versus doing an AP class is that an AP class completely depends on the day that you take that test. And if you just have a bad day, or if you have the flu, or if you're just not in a great frame of mind, and you take a whole course, but you go in to take that AP test and blow the test, then you don't get any credit. At the end of the day, like once you've made it through the class and you've made a C or above in this course, you have taken this course and nobody can ever take that away from you. So, now as for though ideologically, why I think Brit Lit is important, why Brit Lit is my jam, personally, me, what I'm passionate about, it's not so much that we think like, oh, there's this one little island in the Northern Hemisphere that's across the pond from us, and they are super important, and so you must learn about their culture and all their literature. It's because the one thing that all of us share, that everybody that I'm talking to right now, is our language. Everybody that I'm speaking to right now speaks English. That is a common heritage, no matter if you are from Russia or from South America. If you're in the room right now virtually and listening to this video, if you're in this class, you're speaking English. That's something we all have in common. So the study of early British literature is actually the study of how our language changed over time. These words did not just fall out of the sky like snowflakes and land on our tongue. Each word actually has an entire history behind it, an entire people, a whole lineage of blood that goes into the way that we talk and we take for granted every part of every day. We don't really think about how English developed. But English is kind of a hot mess, and I mean that in the best possible way, because compared to like a language like Spanish that you can trace a lot more clearly, it is a blend of so many different things. And because of that, even though it is messy, it is capable of doing things that other languages cannot. And it is wide and vast, and really usable in a lot of different ways. So that is really the purpose of this class to me, is, you know, you may not remember what color Beowulf's hat was. He doesn't wear a hat, but you may not remember that by the time you leave this semester. But if I can send you out of here with a greater appreciation for the language that we speak and how it got to the point that it did, then I will consider my job done. That's kind of what I'm going for, and that's why you are taking Brit Lit specifically, as opposed to American Lit or World Lit. So going on, kind of get down into the nitty gritty, looking at the syllabus. Supplementary materials, speaking of words and their histories. You don't need anything except a computer or a tablet for writing papers and submitting and taking exams. You could do it on your phone, but I really don't recommend it. You're going to need some kind of either computer or tablet device for that. However, for taking quizzes, you probably can do that on your smartphone. So basically, you just need something to use Edmodo on, and that's it. Everything in this class is free. I have endeavored to make it to where you're not having to spend any money other than internet access and something to use the internet on. The grading for this course is extremely different from the previous two comp classes that you had me for. So do listen up for that, because it's a totally disparate scheme from comp classes. Literature classes, a whole nother land. So kind of like before, it's 10% participation. And so the way we're going to gauge participation this time is we're going to have discussions every week on Edmodo. Pretty much every week on Edmodo, there will be a discussion prompt that you are expected to participate in. It's informal. It's colloquial. You can talk to each other and respond to each other. But that is 10% of your grade, so that is a whole letter grade. And I do have people that just kind of make the mistake of just skipping that part. And maybe they don't care, and that's fine. But just be aware that is 10 points out of 100 points of your grade. Tests in this class, which are new for you, you've not had tests with me before, tests are 60%. The way I'm thinking right now, there's going to be 3 tests, and each test is 20% of your grade. So that's really different from when you had papers and you had the chance to revise those papers and fix everything. However, just to let you kind of to stem the panicking a little bit, I've already talked to some people about this. Last year, when I did this class with last year's middle college group, the cheating was so horrific and out of control that the way I decided to handle that this time and last semester was just to kind of even the playing field for everybody, because it's not fair for some people to work their tails off and other people's not to do that and then get the same grade. So basically for tests, they're always going to be open book and open note. So everything that I give you, all the materials that I give you, you'll be able to look at those during the test. That is sanctioned. What is cheating and what is not sanctioned is you just looking stuff up on Google, you looking at SparkNotes, you bringing in outside material. And I'm going to be able to tell that you did that because if what you're bringing in is not matching the stuff that we talked about in class, then I'm going to know, like, okay, somebody just went to Cliff's Notes. And so that does count as cheating, and that would be either an F for the test or an F for the course. I've not really had to have that conversation with any of you yet, and so I'm hoping to keep it that way. But if you see that 60% test and panic, do keep in mind, if you do the work and if you are familiar with the material beforehand, you should be able to use that 80 minutes to go back and find what you need in that material and be okay. Projects are 20%. We're going to have several kind of one larger projects along the way. And quizzes are 10%. It's kind of exactly like Comp 2. They're going to be 1 point apiece. They're just kind of to keep you on track with the reading so that you don't get up to the point of the test and be like, oh, I didn't read any of this. I have no idea what's going on. So there's some information there about, doing the assigned reading, and there is a lot more reading for this class than there would be for a comp class. And then the ground rules, to be honest, you can look through those on your own. Stuff like my grading policy, my paper pipeline, and my open and honest communication policy. Like if I ever hurt your feelings, or if you think I do something wrong, or if you think I'm assigning something that's unfair or just not going to be possible for you all to get done, that policy is, please just come to me first. Before you go complain to a boss or somebody else, just come to me first and we can try and work something out. But I mean, you should know that stuff decently well at having had me twice by this point. The only thing that's different is ground rule number 1. So in my comp classes, I simply don't take late work. I don't take it at all. In literature classes, it's a little bit different since there's no opportunity to revise. It's just you turn in what you turn in. The moment that something is late, I automatically deduct half the potential credit for that assignment. So if it was a 5-point paper, if it is late for whatever reason, then automatically the most you'll be able to get for that paper is 2.5 out of 5. However, there is no subsequent penalty for additional late days. At that point, it's like just try and get it to me by the end of the curricular unit. So you can read, again, that section on the syllabus for more details, but slight different from our previous classes. Plagiarism and academic integrity. Again, make sure to read that. I'm not giving you a contract this time, but everything that's in there still applies. So if you're found to be cheating, if you're found to be plagiarizing, again, you can either fail that assignment or that test or get an F for the whole class. And then the rest of that is just the same kind of policies that should be on the rest of your syllabi, like emergency situation response or library services or whatnot. One thing I will point out is the honors program. At least one of you, if I remember correctly, I know that Colton has, and I think I'm forgetting somebody else, and I apologize to you, has done an honors project for me before. If you are like in the honors program and you're finishing up your required 18 hours, and if you think that you would like to do an honors project for this class, that is doable. It's just talk to me immediately because I can only foresee a total overall of 10 projects. So I have a limited amount of slots to give out. Essentially what you would be doing is picking a text or an author from the canon of early British literature, doing a big research paper about it outside of the class, and then you'd be presenting on Edmodo to the rest of your peers some kind of either website or YouTube video project educating us, and you just essentially would be teaching that text. Like that part of the curriculum you would take over and do. So if that sounds interesting to you at all, let me know. If any of you are planning on being teachers, it could actually be like a really good experience. Or like I said, it's just a way to finish up your honors program, get that honors diploma, and that looks really nice on a resume if you've come this far. If you're not even close to getting your honors diploma at this point in the game, then don't do it. It's not really worth it. It's only really worth it if you can get that 18 hours. But if you have questions about that, just let me know. So yeah, that's pretty much just kind of highlights of the syllabus and why we do this class. I have posted the assignment schedule, which is integral. Remember, that's the Bible. This wasn't you, but one thing that happened to me last semester over and over and over again was just nobody reading the flipping assignment schedule, like at all. I had to non-hyperbolically probably 10 times repost the assignment schedule to Edmodo and to Discord because just nobody read it. If you just read the schedule, it pretty much tells you everything you need to know. It's pretty detailed, week by week, every week. Everything you need to do will be in that document. So just follow along with it and keep it. If I have to change anything, I'll either let you know or I'll post a new version. But that is there on Edmodo, so make sure you download that. And again, this class is asynchronous, which is just like what I ended up doing for Comp 2 last year when everything went to hell in a handbasket. Is it crazy to think about the fact that it's almost a year that we've been living like this? Does that mess with anybody else, or is it just me? So your day of the week, your special day is Wednesdays. So whenever you have something due, it will always be Wednesdays at 11:59 p.m. So there'll never be anything due in between then. And on Wednesdays or Thursdays at the latest, I'll put out the new information for you, the new material, tell you what your assignment is, and then just kind of at your leisure during that week, you can look over the stuff, listen to it, watch it, and then submit the assignment or prepare to take whatever quiz there is. Quizzes and tests will always be posted on Wednesdays. What I'll do with that is, since my office hours start at 2, I will post the quizzes or tests at 2, but they will be open until 11:59 p.m. Again, to kind of curb the cheating, I'm not going to publish the answers. So it used to be that whenever you took a quiz for me, as soon as you were done, it would tell you what the right or wrong answers were. I don't do that anymore, just to kind of curb that temptation of you being like, hey, Clarissa, tell me what the answers were. You know, you're not going to know what the answers are because they're not published yet. But what I will happily do for you, I'm not going to do it automatically, but if you just let me know if there's a week where you're like, I have no idea what those quiz answers were, or I would really like a confirmation, just ask me. And the next day I will post what the correct answers were on Edmodo. So I'm happy to do that for you later. They're just not going to be automatically posted because between 2 o'clock and midnight, that's a lot of time there for something to go wonky. So yeah, if you have any other questions for me, I say other like I was actually talking to you, but if you have any questions for me, just let me know, reach out to me. But I think I've covered everything that I need to in this moment, and since this is already about 18 minutes long, I don't want to take up too much more of your time because I know that you're getting used to a whole nother section of online classes. For now, your only job is to listen to and look at the PowerPoint that I posted. It is pinned to the top of Edmodo, and make sure you listen to the recordings. It is a lot easier to do that, almost infinitely so, if you just go ahead and download that PowerPoint. Don't try to open it from Edmodo, just download it all the way. And as you flip through the slides, then it should just automatically start playing my voice. Listen to that, look at those slides, and then do the homework that has been requested of you about the 4 temperaments and kind of reporting which one you think you are, or if you're a combination of 2. And you're just going to post that answer in the comment section underneath my original Edmodo post about that. That's actually your only homework for this week. So for next Wednesday, that is all that's due. So if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you for your patience. I know this isn't the early Brit-Lit class that we all thought we were going to be having, least of all me. But I am still really grateful to teach you in any format. I would teach you if I had to be on a unicycle wearing a potato sack. So I'm just grateful to be in contact with you again. I hope that you have a wonderful week and that everything's going well for you all. And I'm just sending you my best all the time. Bye.